Hi! Are we ready for today? Maybe. We're here. We're getting off to a good start. And I've been doing some weird things lately. Okay? We're gonna get right into it, alright? Yeah, that's right. Anyways, yeah, we're here, and yeah, I've been busy. There's a reason why. Well, I guess technically there has been YouTube videos posted. It's felt like I haven't done anything YouTube video related for either of my channels for months, even though I literally posted a video like 3 days ago on my second channel, and then the main channel, I think it's been over a week since I posted anything. And I haven't filmed the next video, so yeah, I've been busy. This weekend or this past weekend or whatever, yeah, I was not home. Nope. Not even close. And I mean that literally too. I was actually like over an hour away from here. I had to stay in a hotel. So I guess you guys want to know what I was doing, right? It's nothing crazy. My workplace actually, they're sending me to Kakigawa City, which is like a little over an hour from here by car. Yeah, I'd have to stay in a hotel. The interesting part of the story is not what I was doing, okay? I haven't mentioned, or I haven't told you guys what I was doing there, because on Twitter I posted videos and showed you guys a hotel and everything like that. The interesting part is not what I was doing there. The interesting part is the hotel. Alright, so what was I doing there, I guess you guys want to know? My company just sent me there to get some certificates for some of the qualifications that I need for my workplace. One of them being forklift license. That's one of them. So company wanted or wants me to continue doing that because I haven't finished it yet. So yeah, and then the reason why I had to go all the way out there because there's actually walking distance from here. There's actually one place where I can actually get qualified to get certificates for like certain machineries and forklift license and stuff like that. But I can't do it there. Why, you ask? That's because to say it the easiest way possible, or the way a North American person would say it, my Japanese sucks. So I wouldn't be able to. So I went to Kakigawa City because that's the only city in this prefecture, I guess, out of what I know, where I can actually do all the schooling, all the tests, everything like that, completely in English, which is cool. So yeah, that's that. There's nothing interesting about that itself. The interesting part is me having to stay in a hotel, and yeah, the hotel that I stayed in was really strange. There's 3 hotels I could have chose. This hotel that I stayed in for the past 2 nights, whatever it was. Apparently it was the good hotel out of the 3, and this upcoming weekend I have to stay in the worst hotel. It's not even a hotel actually, it's like a dorm room. Anyways, so yeah, I'm basically like a student again. I haven't been in school for 10 years now. And yeah, all of a sudden I'm in school again. Yeah, so I had to like study and go to class for 2 days, 12 hours. Yeah, I'm serious. It was fun though. It was fun because so basically what it is I went to Kakegawa City to get the first thing that I was doing is I had to get certified legally here in Japan, because I'm already certified but not legally in Japan to get a forklift license. So I have to redo that basically because I'm already certified to be able to ride a forklift, but here in Japan I'm not, just because country differences and stuff like that. So yeah, I have to go all the way to Kakegawa City so I can actually thoroughly do it in English and be certified that way. So yeah, the school that I go to, I was not expecting there to be so many people. There was like 50 of us, I think, in our class. So basically what you do is you go to the school, and then you sign in and do all that stuff. And then how did it start? So we have like a classroom on the second floor. There's only one classroom, so it's like a building, and then you have just a single classroom. And then I think every month or whatever they have different stuff going there. So right now it's like forklift time or whatever. So you go to the second floor, and then you just sit down somewhere. It's a big like classroom kind of thing. And then yeah, there was like 50 of us. And out of the 50 of us, there was only one Japanese person. And no, it wasn't me. I mean, yeah, I'm Japanese, I'm half, but like I'm talking like a born and raised Japanese person. It was only one person. Everyone else was from like it was a lot of Brazilian people actually. A lot of Brazilian people. And then like Thailand and Philippines, there was a lot of Philippine people. And then I was the lone North American. So I was the only one that could actually speak fluent English. Actually, no, that's wrong. That's wrong, actually. There were... No, there was a small handful of people that could actually speak really good English, but they were all like Filipino and Brazilian. But yeah, so you go into the classroom, you just sit down wherever, and then the main... do you call it a professor? I don't know if technically you can call that a professor or not. I guess so. Or like teacher, not a teacher, a professor. Let's say professor. So he comes in. He's Japanese. Actually, no. The first day it was a lady. Actually, she was like in her mid-30s, maybe 40. I don't know. So she was speaking Japanese. Doesn't know any other language. And then, what they do is they divide you by country, I guess, because that'll also determine language as well. So they were like, okay, everyone who's from Brazil, raise your hand, and they count, and then be like, oh, Philippines, and everyone raise their hand, and then they would write it on the whiteboard, like, okay, Brazil, 11, Philippine, 7, and then Thailand, 7, and then there's like 5 or 6 countries or whatever it was, and at the very bottom, Canada, 1. That was me. So yeah, they had to divide us. So there was a Portuguese group. Then there was what was it? Thai, I think. And then something else, some other Asian language. I'm not sure what it was though. And then there was English. I believe that was it. So yeah, Portuguese, Thai, something else. And it wasn't Chinese. I don't know what it was actually. Something else, and then English. So my group there was like, I think there was 6 of us taking the English, but everyone in my group, was Filipino, so they could all speak Tagalog. I almost said they could all speak Filipino. Oh god. So they could all speak Tagalog, and then they could all also speak English pretty well actually. One guy, he was actually his English was really good actually, like almost completely fluent. And then he told me he used to work for Bell Canada, which is funny. And then so he would be like on phone lines and stuff like that. And then he told me Canadian people are always so nice when I talk to like customers and companies. Like he said he had to interact with Canadian companies primarily, obviously, and then American companies. And he said he could definitely tell the difference between Canadian and American. He was like, I immediately knew just the way they would talk to me. He's like, American people are so rude. He's like, Canadians are so nice. He's like, when I talk to the Americans, he's like, I felt scared talking to them sometimes. It was funny. But yeah, his English was good. And then all the other people in my group, their English was not bad. Very heavy accent, so I had troubles understanding them. But when we talk to each other, because obviously I can't speak Filipino. I can't speak... Oh, God. I can't speak Tagalog. Okay? Can I say Filipino? Can I just say that? I don't know. But yeah, and then we had on our first day we had a guy, he was also half Japanese like me. I think he was half Japanese, half American, I guess. I forgot to ask him what his other half was. I think he's American though, half. Yeah, so his English is perfectly fine, native English. And then we had him. You sit in the classroom, you do all your textbooks. So I can bring my textbook actually. I'll show you guys what we got actually. I'll show it to you. It's right here. Alrighty then. So we got oh shit. I was opening the book like you guys could see it. There. This is it. Let's just well, this is part of it. This is completely in Japanese. I got to keep this one. And then you get like an English version, but it's more like a paper booklet. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, those ones we couldn't keep, so we had to return it and stuff like that. But the Japanese ones we got to keep, which is almost useless for me because I can't really read Japanese very well. So yeah, I barely even used this when I was in the class. I was using the English one the whole time. So they divide you by language or country or whatever you want to call it. And then they move the desks into like four corners of the room, and then each group has a translator. So my group was obviously English. There was 6 of us. So we had that guy that was half Japanese, half American, I guess. And then the front right of the classroom was Portuguese. It was like a lady, I guess she was in like her 30s or something. She's fluent in Portuguese. She's Japanese, but completely fluent in Portuguese. I was like, damn, that's cool. And then the back right and the back left of the classroom were like these old ladies that were like Thailand and whatever else. I forget what other country. Anyways, it was like that on the first day. You do all your classroom stuff, go through basically this whole book. You sit there for 12 hours and stuff like that. That was the first day. First day was just kind of bland. Second day is where everything gets really interesting. So we had a different, so the teacher or the professor and all the translators were completely new people on the second day. So the second day we had like an old man. He was 80-year-old. He was our professor, and he was a magician, which is funny. So every like 10 minutes or whatever, when he saw that we were all like falling asleep and getting bored, and like, you know when you sit in a classroom for a long time and it's just like a lecture or something, and you just get like your eyes just feel like they're getting so heavy and you feel like falling asleep. He noticed when that was happening to everyone, so he would show us a magic trick like every like 10-15 minutes. Pretty good ones actually. And he's an 80-year-old Japanese man. But yeah, he was teaching us. And then my translator was a Filipino lady. She was so she I'm not sure why it was like this, but she translated into Tagalog for the other people in my group, even though they knew English as well. And then to me, she was translating into English, which is funny. And then she told me the reason is because the last time she had a student in this course that needed English, she said it was about 3 years ago, and it was an American person. But she said ever since then she hasn't used her English. Her English was pretty good actually. So yeah, she was translating into 2 languages the whole time. Even though she could have only done English, but the Filipino people in my group definitely was easier for them in their own language. So yeah, that was happening, and then the other groups had new translators as well and stuff like that. So the whole time as the professor's talking, like, so they have like an overhead, and they have like this book, and they put it on the overhead so we can see it. And then they're just going through it and stuff like that. And then yeah, all the translators are all talking while he's doing that. So there's like 5 or 6 people talking all at once for like 12 hours straight. It's pretty creative actually. I've never been in a situation like this. It was super international. Yeah, it was a lot of fun actually. And I got to know my classmates and stuff like that pretty well. And then my translator, the Filipino lady, we really got along with each other. One reason is because she was really excited that she actually had a purpose for using English for once, because she said the other times where she had students where she needed to translate into English, they either couldn't understand English at all, or she could use some other language other than English to talk to those people, or she had to use simplistic Japanese to talk to them. But she said I'm the first student she's had in a very long time where I'm native in English, so she could actually use it without any problems, and I could understand her perfectly without any problems. It was to the point that I was teaching her English rather than her talking to me in English and like translating. It was like opposite. And then so that was happening. We got along really well. And then she was, every once in a while she was asking me, she's like, how do you say this in English? What's this in English? And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, my English is so bad. I'm like, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's really fun actually. It was like, when was the last time I actually used English? Like, I'm talking like in real life, like what's the word I'm looking for? like when like in reality or whatever. This doesn't count. Streaming doesn't count because that's just that. I'm talking like my daily life. Aside from talking to my parents, I've never been in a situation like out on the streets or somewhere where I can physically like just use my English and act like myself like I do on camera for you guys, you know? Because when I'm around Japanese people, especially my coworkers at work, my personality is so different compared to what you guys are seeing on camera and stuff in my YouTube videos and stuff like that. It's very different just because Japanese personalities and behaviors are so different. But anyways, so yeah, my translator, we got along very well. And then we were just after we got to know each other a lot more, we were just having random conversations about like movies and famous people and stuff like that. Like we were getting so off topic. But that's what was happening. And then at the end, was it on that day? On the end of that day. So this is what, 2 days ago? This is 2 days ago. Um she found out that I could actually speak Japanese and she had no idea. So at first she thought I either knew really little Japanese or no Japanese at all. And she's fluent in Japanese, out of what I could tell. I think she was almost fluent in Japanese, which is really cool. And she told me she's been in Japan for 8 years, whereas I've been in Japan for 5 years. So pretty close. So yeah, her Japanese is really good. So she's fluent in 3 languages, I would say. I would consider her to be fluent in English, yeah. Even though the guy that I told you guys that worked for Bell Canada, one of the Filipino guy, he told her, and I was sitting. Okay, so they were sitting in front of me. The translator was sitting, and then the Bell Canada guy was sitting there. I was sitting behind them at the row of desks, and then her translator asked, she's like, "What would you rate my English from 1 to 10?" And he literally, without hesitation, said 6.5. And she was like, "Are you serious? I thought I was at least a 7." And then she's like, "Okay, tomorrow I'm gonna bump it up to at least a 7." So that brings us to the third day, which was yesterday. Actually, before that, I forgot to explain to you guys the ending. So at the end of the class, when she found out I could speak Japanese, so the translator that was translating into Portuguese, so the Japanese lady, she was like in her mid-30s, maybe something like that, early to mid-30s, maybe. Yeah, she was talking with my translator while like in the hallway and stuff like that. And then I just walked right past them, and then the Portuguese translator, she like pointed at me, and then she said, "Oh, Nihonjin poi," which means, "Oh, he kind of looks Japanese though." And then in Japanese, I turned and looked at her, and in Japanese, I said, "Oh, hafu desu." And you have no idea how surprised both of the translators were. They're like, "What the? You understand Japanese?" I was like, and then I said, "Oh, もちろん日本語喋れますよ。問題ないですよ," which means, yeah, of course I can speak Japanese. I no problems at all. I can understand perfectly. And then my translator, she in Japanese, she like slapped me on the shoulder and she's like, "Nihongo wakaru no?" Which means you know Japanese. And I was like, "Oh yeah, もちろんわかりますよ。問題ないですよ." Which is, yeah, of course I do. No problems. I can understand perfectly. And then in English, all of a sudden, she was like, "Why didn't you tell me that?" She's like, "You don't need a translator." But then I told her that I can't read and write in Japanese at all. And then when people speak really fast, or if the conversation's a little more on the difficult side. So for example, if you're talking about something really simple like, "Oh, what did you have for breakfast today?" You know, something simple like that, I'm perfectly fine in Japanese. But when it comes to like school related stuff and more serious stuff, yeah, I get completely lost and I can't really understand. So that's what I told her, and she was like, "Oh," but and then she was like, "How much Japanese do you know?" And then we started speaking Japanese to each other. I thought this situation was so unusual, you know, because like everyone in my class is international, but we can all use everyone in my class, so all 50 of us, including the translators and stuff like that, everybody's either bilingual or trilingual. So I could speak in English or Japanese to basically everyone, which is so weird to me. I've never been in a situation like that. So my translator, she's Filipino, completely Filipino looking, but she's fluent in Japanese and almost completely fluent in English too. So I thought it was so weird that I could speak in English or Japanese to her and she could understand me perfectly fine. Like that situation, and that the fact that we're both living in Japan and currently in Japan, I thought was like the weirdest thing ever. Like my mind was just like, this is such a cool situation here, where like I'm in a situation with these people, you know. And all my other classmates, I was like, oh, I can either speak in Japanese to you guys, because my classmates, all the Filipino ones, their Japanese was pretty good actually, like really good actually, which I was surprised because usually foreign, like young foreigners, I'm talking like under the age of 25, usually their Japanese is either very little or they're so shy to the point that they act like they don't know Japanese at all. So they get like really lost and stuff like that. But my classmates were pretty good in Japanese actually, pretty damn good. So yeah, I could speak to them in either English or Japanese, which I thought was hilarious and really cool at the same time. I've never been in a situation like that, so international and everything. So yeah, that was the second day. Everybody was shocked that I knew Japanese, and I was like, yeah, I can. So then we go to the third day, which was yesterday. All of our classroom stuff was over. So this was time when we actually had to physically do forklift stuff. So we were outside in like a little course that they have outside of the school grounds or on the school grounds, but like outside. I don't know how to explain it. And then we had three, was it three? I think three. We had three instructors, all Japanese, and the only language they knew was Japanese. So we had our translators again. We had the same translators as the second day. Yeah, and they were pretty shocked at my Japanese skills and everything. But also, I got along really well with all three instructors. I'm talking like super well. And then my translator, my translator, and then one of my group classmate. So the three of us, and then all the wait. So my translator, me, and then one of my classmate, one of my group classmate, one of the Filipino, and then all of the three instructors, six of us got along with each other really well to the point that we were having like personal conversations while they were testing everyone. So what happens is there's three forklifts on the course. Either two of them will be manual, one of them will be automatic, or vice versa. Two will be automatic and one will be manual. They change it every once in a while. And then you do rotations. So you have to wear like these, what are they called, pennies or whatever? And they have numbers. So kind of like sports jerseys or whatever. Like what is it called? Basketball jerseys or whatever. Like with numbers or whatever. So I have to wear those and then you rotate. So everybody's in like groups of 6. And then you each get like a forklift or whatever. And then you go one at a time. So you have to wait. And because everyone is riding a forklift for the first time in their life, you can imagine how poorly and how slowly and how nervous everyone is. So when one person goes to do whatever the instructors tell you to do, so the first thing that we had to do was what was it actually? I believe the first one was literally just get used to sitting on a forklift and moving. So you start the forklift, you sit on it, and then you learn how to use the clutch because we have to learn manual. So then all they do is they tell you, do not use the gas pedal. We're not using that today. So you just slowly release the clutch, and then the forklift will start to move, just like a car, right? So we have to do that. So you go down the track or whatever they have. It's like, I don't know, less than 100 meters, maybe 50 meters. You go down there, and then you do all the procedures that you have to do because you're in school, right? So you have to do all of the procedures properly. So you have to check both sides, make sure no one's around you. Then you have to signal saying that, okay, I'm going in reverse, everyone watch out. And you have to do all of those procedures in order to, if you miss one of them or you do it incorrectly, you get absolutely yelled at by the head instructor. He's a super nice guy, but he will yell his head off at you if you don't do it correctly. So it's like that. So you go forwards 50 meters or whatever it was, then you very, very, very slowly go backwards. Because like I mentioned, everyone's riding a forklift for the first time in their life. So they're not only really slow, but also because you're in school, all the instructors say, go slow, you know? So it's like that. But I already know how to drive a forklift, and I used to have a forklift license when I was living in Canada and stuff like that. So you can imagine how I did it, right? So I was like, okay, get on. Okay, I'm good. Whoop, I'm done. And yeah, I got yelled at by the head instructor immediately. He was like, slow down! He's like, hayasugiru! Which means, you're going too fast, slow down! But the two other instructors were super nice. Like, those two instructors I got along with so well. To the point that we were literally, the entire time, while they were standing off to the side, and it was like pouring rain too. They were standing off to the side, just watching all the other students, all the other like Vietnamese and stuff like that. while they were just standing there watching while they were doing their turn, stuff like that. I was literally having personal conversations and we were just laughing and talking about like, oh, Canada this, Canada's like that. Oh, the national fruit of Philippines is like mangoes and bananas and stuff like that. Literally, we were having like conversations like that with me, my translator, and then the three instructors and stuff like that. I swear to God, for like 8 hours, we were literally like that. And then all the other students. So on that day, so yesterday, we were mixed with the Japanese students as well. So there was like another group. Um, so there's two schedules that you can have. So there's weekend course and there's weekday course. I'm taking the weekend course. The reason being is because on weekdays I'm working, right? So I can't be at the school. So on the weekend course, in my group or whatever, there was only two of us. So me and one of my Filipino classmate, the English group. All the other guys are doing the weekday, so I'm not seeing them anymore. So it was us two, then my translators, and then all the instructors and everything, and then all the other people, all the different language people. But yeah, we got along super well with each other. And then we had Japanese students as well, about 7 or 8 of them or something like that. And the instructors told us, like they came up to me and they whispered to me and they were like, this is the quietest group of students we have ever had at this school. Like all the Japanese students were literally like sitting off to the side on a bench while they were waiting for their turn and stuff like that. And they were all just sitting so still like this and just watching. Literally for 8 hours, just sitting there waiting for their turn. You know? And then here I am with my translator and then all the what is it called, instructors and stuff like that. We're literally just like laughing, talking, like cheering and stuff like that. All the Japanese students are just off to the corner just sitting like this. My instructor's like, they're so quiet, they don't talk. And I'm just like, Japanese people are like that. Like Japanese people are so shy. And he's like, yeah, and you're not like that at all. I'm like, no, I'm very talkative. I'm from Canada. Everyone's like that. I love talking to people. And yeah, my instructors were like very interested in learning English from me. They're like, oh, what's this? What's this? What's that? Like we haven't had an English, like a native English speaker in this class for so long. Yeah, it was fun that my translator was like making fun of him and stuff like that. It was fun. And we were able to, because we were all like bilingual and trilingual. So we were using like both English and Japanese to talk to each other. It was really fun actually. It was so funny. Even though none of us were born in Japan, but we were using like English and Japanese to talk to each other. And all the instructors were having a lot of fun as well. Two of them were like super laid back instructors. One guy, the head instructor, he was really strict, but super nice guy though, but really strict. And I got along with him so well. And I believe I was the only person. There was about 30 of us on that day. I believe I was the only person that actually had forklift experience. So when I was riding a forklift, everything I was able to do perfectly fine with no problems at all. And all the techniques and stuff like that, I was able to do it perfectly fine. All the other students were like struggling and like bumping into all the pylons and stuff like that. Yeah, so when I did my turn, I would do it in like 1/5 of the amount of time compared to everyone else. Yeah, it was funny. It was fun. So most of the time I was just standing there waiting. After about like 8 hours, my back started to hurt really bad because we're just standing there, right? And it's pouring rain too the whole time. But yeah, it was so much fun though. It's not done. I still have to go this Friday. I have to go into another hotel. It's not really a hotel actually. It's like a dorm room. But I was told by my translator and the instructors that the next place I'm staying at is really weird. They told me. But yeah, that's basically what's happened so far. And I gotta go for 2 more days, Saturday, Sunday. Saturday just more testing, or not testing, more practice, and then Sunday is my actual exam. So yeah, but the instructors told me, they're like, yeah, you'll have no problems getting your license, you'll be fine. They'll be like, they're like, just make sure you slow down because you're going too fast because you have too much confidence because you know how to drive a forklift already. I was like, yeah, that's definitely the problem. They said you can fail because of that, so be really careful. That's what they told me. But yeah, that's basically what happened. So I got along with my translator and my instructors really well. A little too much, to the point that my translator, she told me, she's like, I'm afraid you're gonna get disqualified for this because we're getting along too well. She's like, and we're like laughing and dancing the whole time while everyone else is just sitting there really patiently waiting for their turn and listening to the instructor's instructions and stuff like that. So yeah, my instructor was like, I'm really sorry if I get you kicked out of this course. But yeah, that's what happened. But yeah, I got along really well with everyone there. So it was fun. It was fun. But that's not the point of this. The point is, well, two things actually. The first one is I'm not there to have fun. I'm there because my workplace sent me there to get qualifications. Um, so that brings us to the hotel, which is actually supposed to be the main part of the story. Um, and that is, yeah, the hotel that I stayed at these past 2, 3 nights or whatever. Um, yeah, it was weird. I explained partially or most of it on Twitter, kind of, and that is yeah, they're very uptight, I guess. So the hotel that I stayed at, it wasn't that big of a hotel. It's only 7 floors, and each floor, apparently, my instructor at the school told me, he said there's 123 units at the hotel that I stay at. He said there is 1, 2, 3 unit. That's literally how he said it too. And then my translator was like, "What? What do you mean 1, 2, 3?" And she's like, "Oh, you mean 123?" He's like, "Yes, yes, 123." It was funny. But yeah, apparently. And then yeah, so when you go to that hotel, you expect it to be like any average hotel, right? Where it's like, okay, you have a hotel room, maybe you're staying with family or whatever, right? There'll be other people there, suitcases, stuff like that, right? Yeah, this hotel is very, very, very strange. So I don't know if it's owned by, but it's definitely run by the school that I was at. For sure. And then there's like every morning between like 7 and 7:40 or whatever, there's shuttle buses that take you directly to the school. So all the people that stay at the hotel are students. That's it. It's like a hotel for students. I don't know if that exists everywhere in the world. Maybe South Korea has that as well, like a system like that. But yeah, this hotel, I didn't know that. So when I got there, it was like 8 p.m. when I got there on what was it, Thursday night, and then there's like a small little check-in counter, and then right in front of it, kind of where I took the videos that I showed you. I think I showed you guys one video, where I was eating. Yeah, right in front of it is literally where the kitchen is, or like the dining area. There's just a bunch of tables there. And then when I got there, it was completely packed, and everyone, I swear to God, was like my age or younger that was sitting there eating and stuff like that. I was like, damn. And they were all being like super rowdy and stuff like that. It was crazy. I was like, what the heck? And then I realized, I was like, oh, this hotel is purely a hotel for students. Yeah, so it's really weird. And then I got my room. It was just normal, nothing special room. I think I showed you guys on Twitter. Um, and then I slept that night. Then the next morning, I went to my first day at the school. Took a shuttle bus in the morning. I had no idea what I was supposed to take to get to the school. I didn't know that the school grounds of the program that I was taking was on the same school ground, or I guess it wasn't really a school for that one. There's a driving school. I guess it is a school. There's a driving school, which is like the main thing of that campus or whatever. So like all the young people between the ages of like 18 and 25 are all trying to get like their driver's licenses and stuff like that. So I had to take a shuttle bus. I didn't know it was that shuttle bus that I was supposed to take. Because it was called the driving school bus or whatever it was. So yeah, apparently I was told to get on it. So I was like, okay, I'll get on it. And then all the people got off at the driving school area. I was like, that's not where I'm going. And they're like, oh, you're going next door then to the crane school, which is what it was called. I was like, oh, okay, so I'll go here. I was like all by myself. So all the students. So here in Japan, for those of you that don't know, Japanese people are very like organized. So when they get off the bus, they're all single file. So you get off the bus, and then you walk to the entrance of the driving school, and then you go in, and then the check-in counter or whatever, the office is there. So they get off the bus, and they're all perfectly single file, and then they're walking single file into the school, and then up to the front desk or whatever. And then I just kind of like got off the bus and started just like walking away from them. And then my bus driver started laughing. He's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, I'm going to the crane school. He's like, oh, you're part of the crane school? I'm like, yeah, why? And he was just laughing. I'm like, what's so funny? He's like, oh. He's like, you could have stayed on the bus. I'll take you there. I'm like, it's right there, though. And he's just laughing. I'm like, what's so funny? He's like, I don't know. I just thought it was funny that you're just by yourself walking. I'm like, what? Why is that funny? You know? I'm like, I'm going over there. I'm not with these people. Even though I look younger than all of them. I don't know. It was funny. But, yeah, all the students, I guess they're students at the driving school. I swear to God, and I'm being dead serious when I say this, and I don't know why this is, but all the females that were there, now, again, I'm being really serious when I say this. All the girls that were there, I swear to freaking God, imagine like imagine like a girl where she's like a dream girl to you, so like the best looking girl you could ever imagine. It's like if this girl exists in real life, I would love to, go out with her, get married with her. You know, I swear to God, every girl at that school was like that. Not just specifically to me. I swear to God, like in general too. I swear to God, every girl at that school was like the cutest girl you could ever imagine. I'm like, why why are all the cute girls trying to get their driver's licenses? Like what's going on here? Or is it just Kakegawa City that has all the cute girls? Like what the heck is going on? I was so confused. I was like, what? I was like, damn, it must be heaven to work here, right? So yeah, it was weird. But then I walked over to the grade school and everyone was like laughing at me. They're like, oh, that's kind of funny. You're just by yourself. I'm like, yeah, I don't belong with these people. But yeah, it was a funny experience. But yeah, the hotel. So that was the first day. And then on the way back, I took the shuttle bus back. And then I got to the hotel. I was supposed to study because that was like the first day when we used this. I took a lot of notes too, stuff like that. But then I told myself, with confidence, I told myself, I was like, do I really need to study for this? You know how people say that to themselves, like teenagers, like high school students, like, oh, I don't need to study, I'll be fine, just because they're like, oh, I don't want to study, I want to play video games or something like that, right? I kind of had one of those moments, but I was really confident in myself that I was gonna do fine. I did perfectly fine on the written test, on the stuff, all that stuff. So yeah, I was like, yeah, I went through my notes like once, like thoroughly read through it just once. It took like 5 minutes, and then I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be perfectly fine. I was kind of laughing at myself. I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. Um, and then it was like, what time was it? It was like 6 p.m. So it was like an hour after I got back to the hotel. Um, so then I could go downstairs and eat, and that I believe is when I took that video or whatever. I believe that I posted on Twitter, something like that. I was completely by myself in the dining room. Remember how I told you guys that the first day or the day that I arrived at the hotel, there was so many people in that dining area, all like the young teenagers and stuff like that. The next day, I went downstairs. I had my coupon ticket thing for the free, so I could get free dinner. Yeah, so I went down there. I came off the elevator, and the front desk is right there, and then the dining. I went there. It was 6 p.m. I'm like, okay, because it's from 6 p.m. to like 8:30 or something, dinner or whatever, that you can get dinner. So I got off the elevator. As soon as I got off the elevator, I was like, where the heck is everybody? There was nobody there. Not a single person. And there was nobody in the kitchen. The lights were off in the dining room. So I went up to the front desk and I was like, what do I do with this? Can I eat dinner? And then the front desk was like, oh, you're here for the dinner? I'm like, yeah, why? He's like, oh, okay. Like he was like surprised. I was like, what is going on? So he came out from around the desk and then he kind of like jogged up to the kitchen. The lights automatically turned on in the dining room. And he's like, oh, dareka imasu yo, which means, oh, someone's here. And then the chef was like, oh, really? Okay. And then, so I gave my ticket. And he was like, oh, you're here for the dinner. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, am I too early or something? He's like, oh, no, it's fine. I just wasn't expecting anybody now. I'm like, what do you mean? It's from 6 o'clock, isn't it? He's like, yeah, everybody's usually still at the school at this time. I was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, you're by yourself here. I'm like, yeah, because I'm part of the crane school. He's like, oh, you're not part of the driving school. I'm like, no, part of the crane school. I'm kind of by myself. Everyone's laughing at me for that for some reason. I don't know. Apparently, it's like they don't get too many crane school students at that hotel or something. Like it's unusual or something. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I have no idea. But yeah, and then in the kitchen they had like all the food's already prepared because there's no menu, so you get whatever they make. So there's only one thing, so you just have to eat whatever they give you. So they had in the kitchen, I could see there was like stacks of bowls that had like salads inside of them, like a bunch, like a huge stack of them. And then next to it was like the trays with the plate of the food. The first day was I don't know what it's called, but it's like rice, and on top you have egg, and then you have like sauce or whatever. So it was that. And they had stacks of those on trays and stuff like that. I was like, damn, they're prepared. So he just took the top one and then gave it to me. I was like, oh my god, everybody's eating this. Luckily, I'm not a picky eater though, because that would have sucked, because that's the only thing I could have eaten. And I'm about to explain to you guys why that is. So it's not just because there's no menu, but here is the second thing that's weird about this hotel. So after I was finished eating, um, I went up to my hotel room. It was like 6:30 or something. I was like, now what do I do? So I was messaging my mom and stuff, telling her how the school's going and everything like that. And then my mom was like, why don't you walk to the station area? It's not far. And she's like, it's like a 15-minute walk. There must be stuff there. So I was like, oh, okay, sure. It was already dark outside though, so I was like, I don't know if I want to walk there or not. My mom's like, you're just gonna be sitting there doing nothing. I was like, I don't really need to study either. I'm like, I'm sure I'll do fine on the exam and stuff like that. So I took my mom's word and I was like, okay, I'll walk to this. I'll go out and walk somewhere. Because around my hotel there's nothing. There's just like a couple other hotels and then just like huge empty parking lots just surrounding the whole neighborhood. I don't know why, but it's just like that. And then yeah, the closest convenience store is like a 6-7 minute walk away, which is actually really far for Japanese standards when it comes to a convenience store. So I came out of my room, I went downstairs, I was like, I'll just go for a walk. I went out the front entrance, and I only took like 2 to 3 steps outside of the hotel until someone came running up to me, and it was one of the people from the front desk, and they're like, "Ah, doko ikimasu ka?" Which means, "Oh, where are you going? Where are you going?" I was like, "What? I'm just going for a walk outside. I was gonna go walk to the station." And they're like, "Oh, no, you can't do that." I'm like, "Excuse me?" And he was like, "Yeah, you can't do that. You have to get permission." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you have to get permission. You have to sign your name, and then you have to give your room key to the desk." I was like, "What?" He's like, yeah. So they didn't tell me why, but after they told me that, I was like, oh, okay, I'll just go back to my room then. I'm like, okay, whatever. I think the reason is because, like I told you guys, the hotel is run by the school, and because they're all students, all like young people staying there, I think the school's kind of worried that if something happens to you while you're out or something, then it's the school's fault because they're in charge of the hotel, right? Or something like that. So I think that's why there was a system like that. I'm like, yeah, this feels like something my mom would do to me. Be like, hey, where are you going? Where are you going? When are you gonna be back? You know, stuff like that. That's what they wanted at the hotel. They're like, you gotta tell us where you're going. You gotta sign your name on this paper. You gotta give us your room key and tell us what time you're gonna be back as well. So like curfew or something or whatever you call it. I was like, damn, this is kind of crazy. But yeah, I think it's because the school runs the hotel or whatever, has connections to the hotels. So I was like, I'm almost 30 years old. I don't need to be treated like a child. Can I just go? I'm part of the crane school anyways. I don't think you guys care about me that much. So I just went back to my room and I was just watching YouTube videos. And then here comes the next part. This has nothing to do with the school from this part of the story until the end. So yeah, you may have seen one of my tweets from yesterday or whatever it was. I got recommended a video on YouTube. So you know how like well, I was on my own channel. So you have a video up, you're watching a video, and on the side, well, I guess it's the same for everybody, right? Depending on how your layout is. On the side, there'll be like all those video, like recommended videos or whatever. So I had that list, and there was just a video there that caught my eye for no reason. And I just clicked on it. I don't know why. I think there was a reason to why I clicked on it and wanted to watch it, but I can't remember what the reason was. So for those of you that know a series, I don't know if it's a TV show or if it's on Netflix or what it is. It's called what is it called? It's called Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, or something like that. There's like a series like that. I started watching an episode. I think it was the first episode that I watched. I don't really know. I swear to God, I cannot get the theme song of that series out of my head. I swear to God, even right now, I absolutely can't get that thing out of my head right now. If you want to know what I'm talking about, just go watch an episode. Yeah, I don't know what the purpose or the meaning of that series is. I don't know why it even exists. Like, just watch an episode. You'll understand what I'm talking about if you just go watch an episode. I have no idea what the existence of that series is for, you know? So, yeah, I was in my hotel room. I was watching a couple episodes, and I'm so confused, even as of right now. Um, but yeah, that's what I did. And then the next day was the exam day. The first like 6 7 hours of class was just more textbook stuff, and then that was the day. So this was 2 days ago. That was the day we had the magician, professor. He was like showing us random magic tricks. He was 80 years old, but he was like super friendly guy. He looks when you see him, you're like, oh, he's gonna be a really strict teacher. Until he starts doing magic tricks and starts telling you jokes, and you're like, oh, this guy's really chill. Actually, it's like that. Like his appearance versus his personality do not match at all whatsoever. Like it's a complete like opposite match. But yeah, it was like that. So like he showed us like 10 magic tricks over the course of like 12 hours or whatever. It was kind of funny actually. But yeah, he was teaching us like all the safety stuff and everything. And then we took our exam. It was all multiple choice, so every question had three options you could choose from. It was there's 40 questions, but I was only told to answer the first 30. I'm not sure why though. Some people had to answer all 40. I only had to answer up to 30. I have no idea why though. But yeah, so 30 questions I did perfectly fine. No problems whatsoever. Every question I knew the answer to, but there was one question, it was question 29 out of 30. I knew the answer to, but the answer wasn't one of the three options. And my other classmates also told me that as well. After we were done taking the test, when we had a break, we were all in our break room waiting for all the other students to finish their test, all the people that finished early. Um, so then we were all talking to each other, and they're like, "What did you write for question 29?" And we were all like, "I knew the answer, but the answer wasn't one of the three options." So we all told each other, we're like, "Yeah, I chose option one because we all thought that was the best one." I don't know what the actual answer was, because we never got to find our results. We just knew whether we failed or passed. And apparently, out of the 50 students that took the test, only one person failed, and apparently that one person failed by a single point. So yeah, the retake is 3,300 yen. So that's like $30 ish. And apparently the retake uh is a lot harder. The test is a lot harder. It's not the same test, so you get a different test, but it's harder apparently, and only one person failed. Um but yeah, it was like that. So I knew the answer to all the questions immediately without even seeing the three options. I was like, oh, I know the answer. But just one question was it stumped all of us. So yeah, I did fine. I have no idea what percent I got. I think I got probably only like one or two questions wrong, if anything. So yeah, it was easy. And then the next day after that, we did our physical practice. So actually physically doing stuff on a forklift and stuff like that. But yeah, I got along with everyone there a little too well, to the point where halfway through our physical practice, I actually thought I was gonna get kicked out of the program, or like get in a lot of trouble from like the office, or uh the head person running the office or something like that. Because they're like, oh no, you're playing around too much. You can't have that here. You're in school, because I was just honestly I was getting along way too well with everyone there, with all the translators and the instructors there. But yeah, it was fun, and I'm doing perfectly fine right now. But yeah, apparently everyone told me not to look forward to my next hotel. So we'll see. I'm definitely gonna film a short video for you guys and then post it on Twitter like I did with the previous hotel and all that kind of stuff. It's not really a hotel, it's a dorm room, I guess. But it's apparently right in front of the station that I'm getting off at. So that I'm taking a bullet train to Kakegawa City. And then as soon as I get off the station, my dorm room or whatever is apparently like right there. But it's like a really junk building. So yeah, everyone told me, yeah, don't look forward to that. They said it's not very good, and they said it smells apparently. The instructors and the translators at the school, they've apparently all have stayed there or been to that building, because the three hotels that the school has connections to, all the people working at the school, they know those buildings, so they told me like stuff about that building. They're like, yeah, I feel sorry for you. That's what they told me. In Japanese, they're like, ah, ちょっと良くないな. I was like, oh god. Yeah, and then my translator, she's like, yeah, don't open the fridge. I don't recommend you open the fridge. It stinks. That's what she told me. Yeah. She's like, yeah, it smells in those rooms. And then in Japanese, all of a sudden she changed the Japanese and she's like, ちょっと臭いよ, which means, yeah, it's stinky inside of those. That's funny. But yeah, the fun or the really interesting part about this whole thing was the fact that everybody in the school, or like in my class or whatever, all 50 of us, and then all the translators as well, everybody was either bilingual or trilingual, or what's four? Quadlingual? What's the word? Is there a word for that? Yeah, which is really cool. So I could use multiple languages to talk to everyone in my class, which is crazy. And none of us were actually born in Japan either, so that made it even more crazy. It was fun though. It was a lot of fun to have an experience like that. It was really funny. Yeah. So that's what's happening. And then yeah, this Friday? Yeah, it's Friday. I gotta go back to that city. Get my dorm room key from the school, because apparently the school has it. So, and then I got 2 more days. I get my qualifications. And then, what else do I have to do for my work? There's one more thing I have to do. But that doesn't come till the end of the year. I forget what it is. Yeah. I'll tell you guys when it happens. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but there's a couple other things I gotta do for my workplace as well. Which may or may not involve me having to stay in a hotel again, stuff like that. But, yeah, that's, my last 4 or 5 days of my life have been very, very interesting, for sure. Yeah, a lot of things that, very unusual things. Aside from that, though, what else is happening? What else is happening? Aside from me watching Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Because I've literally been binge watching that for some reason. I don't know. I seriously have no idea what the purpose. I want to do a Wikipedia search on that TV series or that program or whatever, and see what they say about it. Like, what was the purpose of its existence and stuff like that? I would love to know. But yeah, that's what's happening for now. To get back on topic, this YouTube channel, stuff like that. What are we gonna do? Well, I haven't really filmed anything for this channel. I haven't filmed another video yet, so I have nothing to edit. But I should probably film a video before I go back to Kakegawa City, so that at that dorm room, when I have time, when I'm just sitting there doing nothing in the evening, I can actually edit my videos, actually do something productive. So maybe. Yeah, I don't know. We still have the 3 games that we're playing. We're moving really slow with those. So I think by the time we finish all 3, it'll be like the end of the year. So, yeah, I don't know what else we're gonna do. I don't know. Maybe just more gacha videos, video machine videos, all that kind of IRL stuff. And then the second YouTube channel did post a video for you guys like it says 4 days ago now. So if you haven't watched it, go watch it, I guess. I put a lot of effort into editing that video, even though I don't use like effects and stuff like that, just because I don't really know how. But also because I still edit all my videos on my phone using the default iMovie app. So yeah, there's like no stuff that you can use. I don't know how to explain it better than that. But yeah, I put a lot of time into editing that video to make it as best as I could. And as professional as I could, even though it's really amateur like when you watch it. Also, one of the song, do I consider it a song? I guess so. The song that I used at the end of the video, so the not just the end credit area or whatever behind the what is it called when you put the video recommendations? I forget what that's called. Not just that part, but the part right before that too. Yeah, I used an app called, do you guys know what Incredibox is? I used an app called Incredibox to actually make that song, which is funny. So, yeah. But it's not actually part of the game, though. or the app or whatever. I used the I used a mod. I downloaded a mod to create it. So yeah. Aside from that though, just gotta keep finding parts. I'm kind of slowing down with finding parts now just because I'm so busy lately. And during April, I think around mid-April is when I'm gonna become really busy to the point that like last year, I'm gonna be working 7 days a week for about a month or so, maybe longer than that. So yeah, you think that's good slash bad slash great slash horrible, and yes to all four of those. The reason being is because if I'm working 7 days a week, that's overtime money, right? Which is true, but at the same time, at the place I'm working at, that's also not true. So yes, I'm working 7 days a week. That sucks. I get no breaks. I get no time to do whatever I want. Great thing is, I do get paid overtime. The bad thing is, it's not overtime for 2 extra days. So regular is 5 days a week work, right? Overtime, you think because I'm working 7 days a week, I get 2 extra days of overtime pay. No, not in Japan. That's not true in Japan. So in Japan, or at least my workplace, not everywhere is like this, but my workplace, yeah, Saturdays unfortunately we get nothing. We get no food. And when I mean no food, I don't mean like, oh, you're not allowed to eat, you're gonna starve. No, 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 I'm not talking about that. I'm talking like they don't buy us food, so I have to either bring my own food or not eat or whatever. And then yeah, unfortunately, we get no pay as well, so it's nothing. It's like volunteer. It's like mandatory volunteer. But Sundays we get everything. So we get free food. We get food from a place called Hotomoto. So it's like obento shop, like takeout obento and stuff like that. And then overtime pay and stuff like that. So it's good but bad. Overall, it's good because my paycheck is higher, but unfortunately, 7 days a week work. So that's gonna happen for a bit. So yeah, I don't know. When it comes to finding car parts, I'm kind of slowing down with it, and also I'm trying to kind of save on money a little bit as well. But yeah, I'm still looking for things. All the parts that I'm still looking for the car. That I'm still looking for the same parts that I mentioned in the videos and stuff like that. But I'm just not only having troubles, but also kind of slowing down with looking for those parts, just because I'm kind of burning myself out. But yeah, that's happening. Otherwise, I don't know. We'll just see what happens. Everything will happen on the fly, I guess. So we'll see what the next video on the second YouTube channel will be. We'll see if I can post a video for this channel within the next week or so. If I can film a video between tomorrow and Thursday night, so within the next 3 days. Then I'll have something to edit while I'm at my dorm room. Then for those 2 nights that I'm there or whatever, I'll have something to do. And then hopefully the day I get back or the next day after that, so Monday or Tuesday, I'll be able to upload video. Maybe. I don't know. Oh. There's one more thing. I did post this on Twitter as well. I showed you guys the video of I don't know what it's called. I forget what the guy's name is. He's a Japanese comedian though. A really funny TV program I was watching yesterday. Unfortunately, the video that I posted on my Twitter was the least funny part of that show that was going. But it was still to the point that it was like one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But that was the least funniest thing that happened within that program. Just because I didn't have a chance to film the really funniest parts because I was too busy laughing and watching it. So there's this program. Again, I don't know what it's called. I forget what the guy's name is as well. Really famous Japanese comedian. I swear to God, he's like 5'1". He's tiny. He's super tiny, but really funny comedian. So he was in I think, was he in Thailand or Taiwan? I think he was in Thailand with another Japanese comedian, so a girl. So they went together to film a TV program. And one of the things that they did was one of them had to go out in public and just ask random people how to say things in Thai language, but they had to use English to ask those people. And now they're Japanese, right? Neither of them can really speak English at all. They know a couple of words maybe. So they had to use whatever English they knew to ask random people on the streets how to say certain words in Thai language. So one of them, which is the video that I posted for you, is the guy had to go around and ask random people how do you say fire extinguisher in Thai. But he had to ask those people in English, and he only knows like a couple of sentences in English. So when he tried to describe it, which you guys can watch the video on my Twitter if you want to know what I'm talking about, it was absolutely the most hilarious thing ever. And then once they think they have the right answer, they have to report back to their camera crew, and then there's a translator lady there, and then they have to say the word what they heard from the people in the public. So they have to say in Thai language what they heard, and then that translator has to guess what they're saying in Japanese. So if she gets it right, then they get a point. If the translator gets it wrong or didn't understand, then the other person that the two comedians are with, so the other person gets a pie in their face. So that's what it was. But the really funny one was the guy had to go around asking people in English. So apparently, I don't know if it's a museum, maybe a museum. There's a really famous statue, like a Buddha statue, that's like laying down. I guess you guys don't know what it is for those of you that have been there or heard of it. I guess it's really famous. So he had to ask people what the name of that statue is. But again, he had to ask people in English. So he was trying to. He doesn't know the word statue, so he was describing it as a rock, and he was saying sleeping. So he was saying, this rock sleeping, what name in Thai? Like, that's literally how he was speaking. And then he had to ask like 4 or 5 different people until he finally thought he got the right answer. Until, yeah, he got a pie in his face. So, it's really funny. And then, at one point, I think he found like a random, like a chair on the sidewalk in the middle of the city. He sat down on it. And then every time someone walked by, he'd be like, oh, here, you can see here, you can see here. And then most people would just ignore it, right? You know, like if a stranger comes up to you and starts talking to you, you kind of just keep walking and ignore it, right? So he was trying to let people sit in the chair because it was super hot. It's like the middle of summer or whatever. So he was like, oh, you can take a rest here, sit here, sit here. And then some people actually did. So those people that actually sat down in the chair, he would ask them the question, be like, what is this in Thai? How do you say this in Thai? Yeah, it was really funny. People are just like laughing the whole time. It's absolutely hilarious. If I could find that program on YouTube, I would love to show it to you guys. I have no idea what that show is called. It's absolutely hilarious. Japanese TV shows are generally that kind of stuff, like comedian stuff. Yeah. And then there's more like actual series. One of them that's really popular is Why Did You Come to Japan? If you look that up on YouTube, you'll find it. So it's the show's called Why Did You Come to Japan? So the comedians, they just go out to either to Haneda Airport or Narita Airport, and they ask random foreigners that are coming off planes and ask them, oh, why did you come to Japan? And then if there's an interesting story from that person, then they'll actually ask, hey, can we come with you on your trip? And if they say yes, then the camera crew will spend a week with that person and actually go around with them to do what they initially came to Japan to do. And the cool part about that is they don't mention this on TV because it's money related, obviously. So I can imagine that the TV program pays for everything that person's doing. So they paid for their hotel, they paid for all the food that they eat, because the TV program will also take those people to like restaurants and stuff like that. If those people are actually came to Japan to eat specific food. So one person, I forget what country she was from, but she told the camera crew that she came to Japan because she wanted to eat natto. So the TV people were like, hey, we know a good restaurant that has it, we'll take you there. So I'm pretty sure they paid for that restaurant for those people and stuff like that. And then they tagged along with that person for a week just to see why they came to Japan. So yeah, look it up. It's a really good series actually. I guess you'll have to use subtitles to watch it. But yeah, it's called Why Did You Come to Japan? So just watch it. It's really cool. What else? I think that's about it. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know what else to tell you guys. That's basically what's happening with me. Wish I could like play a game or something for you guys. I don't want to just sit here and just constantly talking because like I'm gonna lose my voice. Yeah, that's what's been happening, and that's basically what I've been watching on TV lately. I don't know. We'll see what happens from here, though. But yeah, I'm really binge watching. Don't hug me, I'm scared. I don't know how many episodes there are in that series. I found like two different versions of it. There's one that's like really amateur like. I don't know how to explain it to you guys. And then there's like the official series or whatever. So I'm watching that one. I have no idea how many episodes there are. I think there's at least 10 episodes or something. I think I've watched like 4 or 5 so far. I don't know. But yeah, it's I don't even know how to explain to you guys what it's about and stuff like that. I really don't know. We could wiki it actually. I might do that. Let's see. See if I can wiki that thing. I've never actually tried to Google search that series. I found it immediately. Wow. Wikipedia. Oh, they actually have a Wikipedia page. Let's see. Can I show you? I can show you guys this. This good enough. Yes, this is what I'm watching. How many episodes are there? Country of origin, United Kingdom. Yeah, I thought so. They all have accents. Oh, there's only 6 episodes. What? I thought there was at least 10. There's only 6. I've watched the whole thing then. Oh, I didn't know that. Each episode revolves around 3 characters: a yellow, childlike humanoid with blue hair, overalls, green mallard duck with a tweed jacket, and a red humanoid with a mop-like head. Their names are never actually explicitly stated in the series, but are often referred to as Yellow Guy, Duck, and Red Guy. Yeah, there's like one episode. This is a bit of spoilers for you guys that haven't watched the series. There's one episode where the duck actually in the newspaper or something he stated that he's dead. So then a coffin comes to life and tries to bury him alive. He's like, "You're dead," and then his headstone says David, but he's like, "That's not my name." Yeah, something like that. He's like, "Can we change it to my name?" He's like, "We can't. We've already engraved David, so let's leave it like that." He's like, "Why can't we change it?" You know, it's such a like I don't know how to explain this show or whatever. Like it's so weird. Wait, sorry, we gotta go back to my schooling. I forgot to tell you guys the funniest thing that happened. How did I forget about this? Okay, so I'm sorry. We're going back to my school subject, my forklift school subject. Okay. So it was yesterday actually, yesterday morning. So when we all got on the forklift for the first time, so everyone's like really nervous, shaking and stuff like that. All the people have never driven a forklift. So they were so nervous to the point that I guess they forgot all the basic things. Like how does a steering wheel work? You know, if you turn to the right, it'll go to the right, right? So people are forgetting that kind of stuff. So then one of the I think he was Vietnamese, I forget. So he was sitting on the forklift and he had the wheel turned all the way to the right. So clock to clock or whatever you call it. Um, and then the instructor, the strict instructor, um, he was telling the guy to go straight, but obviously he doesn't know Japanese very well, so his translator was trying to translate. But even after the translation, he still didn't really understand what he was supposed to do. So the instructor was like, "Masugu ike, masugu, masugu," which means go straight. Don't turn the wheel. Go straight. That's where you're trying to go. Because if you turn, you're gonna go off the course and you're gonna go harvest some rice or something in the fields that are right there. I swear to God, that's literally what he was saying to him, but in Japanese, of course. So then, he still had the wheel turned all the way, and then the forklift was just like slowly turning. He was like, "Stop, stop, stop." He's like, "Tomare, tomare, tomare." And then he was like, "Lifto kara orite, orite," which means get off the forklift, get off the forklift. So he got off, and then the instructor showed him the wheel because it was turned all the way, and he was like, "Taya wa ima doko," which means where? Look at your tires. Where are they right now? So he was trying to make a point saying you're supposed to go straight, but your tires are turned. That's the point he was trying to make. So he was like, "Taya wa ima doko?" Which means, where are your tires right now? And then the Vietnamese guy with really big enthusiasm, and he's like a super shy guy too. Like I was telling you guys, like all the Japanese students, everyone were so quiet because they were all like shy or whatever. So this guy was one of those people that was like really shy. So with really big enthusiasm, all of a sudden, when the teacher asks, "Taya wa ima doko?" he literally goes, "Nihon," which means Japan. And we were all laughing so hard. even even the instructor started laughing so hard, and then my translator, she told me, she whispered to me, she's like, "I've never seen him laugh before." Because that was like the funniest thing that's ever happened. We were all laughing so hard. I couldn't stop laughing when he said that, when that was his response. Like with such enthusiasm. He's like, the teacher was like, "Where are your tires now?" And he goes, "In Japan." Absolutely the funniest thing ever. Oh my god. Oh, I wish you guys were there to see it in person. It was the funniest thing ever. He's literally just sitting there on the forklift. All of a sudden, with big enthusiasm, he answers the question, but too literal. And even the instructor was laughing. And apparently, my translator was like, "I've never seen him laugh like that ever in my life." And then afterwards, he was like, "それはそうだけど、でも違う," which means, "Well, you're correct about that. You're not wrong, but that's not the point I'm trying to make." And he was saying that while he was laughing. It was so funny. It was absolutely hilarious. Uh, yeah. Anyways, yeah. Sorry, I had to go back to that subject. Sorry, just because it came to my mind all of a sudden. But yeah, man, this forklift thing is literally not what I was expecting at all. It's great, honestly. I wish my workplace was like this enjoyable and stuff like that, where everybody got along with each other so well. At my workplace, I think the two main reasons why I'm kind of like, I feel out of place in my workplace. The first one is obviously language barrier. No one at my workplace speaks English, so everybody's very Japanese, obviously, so Japanese personality and stuff like that, and they don't understand North American humor and stuff like that. Whenever I kind of make a joke, which I rarely do at my workplace, because I'm kind of like serious at work, um, one of my coworker immediately points it out, and he's like, "Oh, North American joke, North American joke." I'm like, "Yeah, you're definitely Japanese if you're saying that." I'm like, "Yeah, for sure," because like anyone else that can speak English wouldn't react like that, right? So I'm like, "Yeah." So that's one reason where it's kind of like hard for me to just be myself and stuff like that. Um, and then the second one is, so right now there's five of us, employee wise, there's five of us, and we're all almost perfectly 10 years apart from each other, which is really funny. So we have one person that's in, how old is he now? I don't think he's a teenager anymore. I think he's 20. He's 20 years old now. And then you have me, where I'm in my late 20s, and then we have another guy, he's in his mid 30s. And then we have another guy who's in his 40s. And then our last guy, he's 55. So we're all like 10 years apart from each other. So that's another reason, is age difference and stuff like that. So yeah, my workplace, it's kind of hard to get along with my coworkers. We don't like have fights or whatever. We have the typical work arguments, we're like, "Oh no, do this, do that, don't do that," stuff like that, all that typical stuff. But yeah, it's just kind of hard to get along with him. That's all it is. But yeah, I really wish my workplace was more like the schooling that I'm at. This place is honestly, even though I'm not supposed to be there to have fun, I'm supposed to be there because I'm trying to get qualified. But honestly, I'm having so much fun there. Like I was not expecting it to be like that. And the reason is because there's so many unusual things that are clicking together so well. Like the fact that we're all super international. None of us were born in Japan. Yeah, we can all speak English and Japanese, so we can speak to each other in different languages. So it's super unusual, but really fun, really creative. It's so unusual, and I love it. I love a situation like that where it just fits so perfectly, unusually. It's great. Yeah. Unfortunately, my workplace is not like that. It never has been, and I can pretty much guarantee never will be. I'm the first foreigner they've ever hired, obviously. So, yeah. I'm the first English speaker they've ever hired. Yeah, it is what it is, though. Luckily, though, me being at my workplace is actually really good for me, so... in terms of my future and stuff like that, so I should be happy about that at least. I really should be. But yeah, that's about it actually. Just a bit of an update for you guys as to what I've been doing for the past like week or two or whatever. Not much else. Just gotta do as much as I can for these two channels, two YouTube channels. Like I mentioned, in April, starting from like mid-April-ish, I'm gonna be really busy, so don't expect too many videos to come out from now until like the end of May, possibly, unfortunately. Yeah, don't expect too much. Just because I'm gonna be so busy working 7 days a week and all this other qualification forklift stuff that I'm doing, so I'm gonna do my best for you guys, but yeah, I can't guarantee that we'll be able to keep the video uploading schedule, which is typically like once every 2 weeks or so. I post at least a video on either the main channel or the second channel, or do a live stream, something like that. So I'll do my best, but yeah, I'm just gonna be really tired, which is unfortunate. So editing videos and stuff like that, I kind of get less motivated because of that. So, but we'll do my best. We'll see where we go from here. I don't know what's gonna happen, especially to this channel. The second YouTube channel, unfortunately, is just gonna move slow, because all the parts that I'm looking for the car, I can't find. All the specific parts I'm trying to look for, I can't find. But also because it does cost a lot of money too. So, and typically, I'm probably only gonna film videos for that channel when I actually have something to do to the car, rather than just, oh, here's a video for you guys. Oh, we're at the car today. I don't really have much to do, so I'm just gonna clean it. No. I'm trying to stay away from doing that as much as possible. So, yeah, we'll see. But when the time comes, I'm sure good things will happen. We'll really start to go towards the direction I'm trying to go to, and keep uploading videos for you guys as much as I can. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, I think that's about it. I would love to play a game for you guys right now, but it's like almost 9 p.m. And I feel like I should get sleep. I should go to bed early, just because, yeah, I have no days off this week, next week. So I should probably take advantage of sleep as much as possible. I'm just really glad that my forklift stuff is actually going way better than I expected. And you know, enjoying yourself really does play a role in actually making you more motivated to do what you need to do and actually become successful at it. So that's what I'm really happy about. Because imagine being there at that school and I hate everyone in my class, or I can't understand anything, or you know, stuff like that. It would suck, right? And it may actually get to the point where, or it could actually get to the point where I'd probably not end up doing too well education wise because of that, you know. So I'm really glad that things are going way better than I was expecting, to the point that I'm actually really enjoying it. So yeah, anyways, we'll see what happens. Main YouTube channel, this channel, or sorry, main YouTube channel, which is this channel, second YouTube channel, and the third YouTube channel. No, I'm kidding. There isn't a third YouTube channel. Although I do have videos on another YouTube channel from years ago. I don't even know what the channel is called. From back when I was in post-secondary. I don't remember if it was my own channel or if it was someone else's channel. I can't remember. I had like 3 or 4 videos on that channel. I wonder if it still exists or not. I don't even remember what the name of the channel is though. But I had to make YouTube videos for projects, school projects and stuff like that. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's about it. I would love to play a game for you guys, but yeah, When was the last time I actually just sat down and played a game that was like not related to filming a video for YouTube? Because that's the only time where I actually play video games now. When I film videos for you guys for this channel. Like I don't do what I used to do. I used to be huge on Apex Legends a couple years ago. A bunch of other stuff too. I got into League of Legends from time to time. I don't really do that anymore. I kind of like grew out of, you know, just sitting down and playing video games and stuff like that. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe I should get back into something. I don't know. I don't have anything to play for you guys right now. I mean, I do have a couple of things. We could quickly go through the Incredibox mod. How I made the song for you guys for the second YouTube channel. We could. I don't know if I want to set that up right now. I don't know. Maybe I should just get some sleep. It's been like an hour and a half of stream. I told you guys everything I needed to. What else? Anything else? Am I missing anything? I don't think so. I don't think so. What else is happening? That's about it, actually. Apartment wise, nothing's really happening. No. You know how I told you guys I went to film like another video, like apartment tour and stuff like that. Yeah, it's kind of just slowing down right now. I haven't really been looking for like furniture and stuff like that lately. Just because so many other things I'm prioritizing, so that kind of stopped-ish a little. And then the I still have all my GameCube stuff that I was planning on selling. I haven't posted those on Medukari yet. In fact, the last live stream that we did, where we boxed everything, everything's literally still sitting exactly where it was when we did that stream. It's all still sitting there on my kotatsu table, all like half boxed and stuff like that, because I was still looking for a bubble wrap. Which, from my most recent video that I posted on my second YouTube channel, all that bubble wrap from the cart part is actually perfect to use for those controllers and to actually wrap them properly without scratching. So I'm definitely gonna do that, but actually posting them up for sale, I have not done that yet. I should probably do it pretty soon though, because all the controllers are literally sitting in the boxes right now, and if they sit like that for too long with all their cables and everything all wrapped like that, they're gonna deform. So I should probably put them up for sale pretty soon and sell them as fast as possible. Otherwise, they might actually crack or whatever. All the cables and everything might get all frayed and stuff like that. And then all the customers will complain to me and be like, hey, it's not in the condition that you said it was. I was like, yeah. And I'll just be like, yeah, sorry, they've been sitting in the box for so long, that's why. So they're kind of deforming and stuff. So yeah, I gotta move along with that. But writing the descriptions and actually posting all the shipping costs and stuff like that, I actually need my cousin's help for that, because she's actually used Medukari before and actually sold stuff on it. So yeah, I definitely need her help, but she doesn't come to this city that often, so next time she's here, which might be months later, so I don't know. Anyways, that's what's happening with that. It's kind of like on hold, all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, I think that's about it. Anything else I'm missing? Anything else? If you guys think I'm missing something else that I usually tell you guys about, like updates and stuff like that, put it in the comments, because I know all of you, most of you, if not all of you, are definitely going to be watching this as the VOD, not live. So if you think I'm missing anything, or if you thought I missed something that I usually update you guys on, put it in the comments below. And then next time I do a live stream or whatever, I can talk about that. So I can talk about all that stuff that I may have missed. So let me know if there's anything. Feel free to tell me in the comments if you want to. Don't have to, but if you want to, or if you thought I missed something, then go ahead. Otherwise, I think that's about it. So yeah, nothing else really. Just continue playing the 3 games that we have for this channel. Also videos each episode. Second YouTube channel, just continue to find parts as best as possible, but I can't find any of the parts that I'm specifically looking for. So yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna get my hands on those parts that I'm looking for. So we'll see. Otherwise, that's it. I think that's it. Anything else? Anything else? No, that's about it. I've literally told you guys everything. Next live stream, I don't know. I don't know. If anything, it'll be after I come back from my second trip to Kakegawa City after my forklift qualifications all finished. Otherwise, I'll try and film another video for this channel within the next 2 days or so before I go to Kakegawa again, so that I have something to edit while I'm sitting in my hotel room or the dorm room or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and then hopefully I can have that video uploaded to the channel within the next week or so, maybe. But that's it. I think that's it. That's it. That's it. Are we done? Okay, cool. I guess I go now because I'm kind of hungry. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you think I missed anything that I usually update you guys on, feel free to message in the comments or whatever, because I know all of you are going to be watching the VOD. So, yeah.